All righty, if you guys are ready, let's do our 30 jumping jacks. Stepping or jumping, whenever you're ready. All right, 30 total. Get our feet back underneath our shoulders, looking over our right side. And back to center, looking over our left. Back to center again. We're going to tilt the right ear down towards the right shoulder. And then switch left ear to left shoulder. Coming back to center, let's do our head rolls. Drop the chin to the chest, around to the right for 3. Taking your time, pull those shoulders away from your ears as you go. 3 to the right, and then reverse. 3 around to the left. Once you get your 3, coming back to center, we're going to move our way down to our shoulders. Shoulder rolls up, around, and forward to start. Get a couple just with the shoulders, and then start to incorporate the elbows, moving the shoulder blades. And then when you're ready, big arm circles up, around, and forward. Two more forward. And then let's reverse. Start just those shoulders again, up, around, and back. And then add the elbows, the shoulder blades involved. And then full arm circles all the way up, around, and back. Two more. And then out and in, just let those arms swing, alternate which one's on top. Getting any last tension that you might have in your upper back or in your arm, letting it out. All right, let's shake off that upper body and move our way down to our lower body, starting with our hinges, hip width distance. Unlock your knees, send your tailbone back, coming forward with the chest, keeping that spine nice and straight. Starting to feel everything on the back side of the body, from the low back, glutes, hips, hamstrings, calves. Starting our day with deadlifts today, so we want to be nice and warmed up. New variation. All right, let's come back up to standing, moving through with our hips. Let's just take wide stance. Heels toes out to the side, do our hip tilt, tilting the right hip first. Pushing that hip up and out to the side. You're feeling that stretch on the inner part of your thigh. Inhale, breathe, see if you can push a little further. And coming through center, let's just switch, left hip up. Same thing, breathe through it. And then back to center, walk those feet in just a couple inches. We're gonna go into our hip circles, trying to keep the legs as straight as you can. Up, around, to the right. Big circles every direction. And then let's switch it around to the left. One more. And then making our way back to center. Let's pull those feet all the way back in underneath the hips. Unlock your knees. Hands to your kneecaps. Drop those kneecaps down and around to the right. Moving through the ankles and knees. Everything loose and ready to go. Let's switch the direction. One more. And rolling on up. Let's turn to the side now, going into our hip flexor, left foot forward, right foot back. Back heel is planted. Rotate those hips so they're pointed towards the front foot. And then we'll start to bend and extend. Front knee, both heels are planted, feeling that stretch back calf. And then we're actively pushing that back hip towards the floor. So we're feeling stretch in our hip and our quad. Couple more. And when you're ready, you're just gonna switch over. So right foot forward, left foot back. Same thing, find your stance, rear off your hip. And then when you're ready, let's bend and extend that front knee. Feeling that in the calf first. And then actively starting to push that hip forward, down towards the mat. One last one. Excellent. And then let's make our way back to center, ending with our ankle stretch. Let's point and flex with the right foot. And then circles around. And reverse. And switch sides. Point and flex with the left. And then circle. And reverse. All right, shake out both those legs. Okay, so tonight we're gonna get going. Our first superset we're doing with the band. I'm gonna use the one with handles tonight, just because I'm gonna use the handle part of it. So tonight we're gonna start our first exercise. I'm gonna teach you guys a good morning. So a good morning is the same exercise as a deadlift. What makes it a good morning instead of a deadlift is the positioning of the resistance. So for a good morning, you would load the weight on the tops of your shoulders. So I'm going to show you how to do with a band, but if you didn't have a band, you could also take your dumbbells or a barbell and place them on your shoulders and keep the weight stacked up here. Usually with a deadlift, we're down here. And so for a good morning, the weight comes up here. The motion is going to be the same as our standard kind of straight leg deadlift though. So your stance would be 2 feet right underneath your hips, heels and toes are pointed forward. When you're using the band, you're going to take your handles or the ends of the band, if you don't have handles, and you're going to bring it up and you're going to stack it on top of your shoulders. So it almost looks like when we do a banded squat, except for our squat, we're usually a little wider and we're out to the side. So we're just keeping those feet in deadlift stance, so a little bit more narrow and pointed forward, but the weight is kind of stacked right by our shoulders. From here, it's going to go through the same pattern as a deadlift. So we just unlock the knees, but then we move from our hips. We hinge forward as far as we can. We're going to feel the resistance kind of lower a little bit in that band. It's almost like we're loading a rubber band. And then we stand, we feel that resistance. We stand all the way up, we squeeze on the end, okay? So when doing good mornings, you have to be really careful of your upper back position. Because you've got the weight up top, it's easier to let your shoulders do this and cave. So doing them like this, you have to really think about that upper back position. So think about like rolling your shoulders back and keeping that upper body kind of in that nice proud position the whole time so that you don't end up like over and then the weight pulling you over this way so you look like this, okay? So think about the upper back position as you go, but otherwise it should feel just like a deadlift. So we're still trying to kind of target everything on the back side of the body. So we're gonna go for a set of 12. So we're standing on the band 2 feet. We've got just our hip width distance. Everything is parallel and pointed forward. We're gonna load that weight so it's up by our shoulders. Roll those shoulders down and back. Think about our chest position. Unlock our knees. And then we're gonna hinge as far back as we can with our hips. Stand, squeeze at the end. Hinging, keeping the chest lifted, and stand, squeeze. Full set of 12 here. Taking our time. Bring it from behind the knees all the way up to the glutes. $12 total. Once you reach your 12, you can come off your band, off standing position. We're going to be pairing that with a lat pull apart today. Okay, so for the lat pull apart, you will be grabbing onto when we grab onto the band part itself. So remember, the closer your hands get to each other, the harder you're going to make it. The farther apart they are, the easier you're going to make it on yourself. So grab a distance that's maybe a little wider than your shoulders to start, unless you know what's appropriate distance for you, then go ahead and do that first. Arms come overhead, shoulders down away from your ears. We're going to come behind the head for this. So tuck that rib cage down so that you're not arching. Pull those arms out to the side. Band comes down, touches the tops of your shoulders. You keep that tension and you're coming right back up. After one or two, you're going to know whether you did the right amount of tension. Adjust accordingly. We're doing these for a set of 12 as well. Slow and controlled, coming down and up. Feeling it in the lat. On the side of our back. Well, total, and then you can release down. So that feeling, I want you to feel your lats start right behind or right underneath your armpits, and they go flat down your back. They're your wings. So when you think about doing your pull downs, think about those wings kind of like starting here and contracting down. And try to feel that kind of in the side of your back. Don't just pull with your arms and use your biceps and your shoulders. Use your back to get that weight down. All right, guys, so we're going to be doing 3 sets. Take a quick breather here. I had a sip of water, so I'm going to do that. Of these two. So we're going to go back to that good morning. Just a variation of our deadlift. If you want to, since it's a new motion, you could always try it with weights or with a band, whatever you prefer, honestly. If you do it with weights, I'll just show you. You'd stack them. So instead of holding them up, it actually stacks them onto your shoulders like this. That way the weight is kind of more behind you and you'd be here. So if you want to play around with that, you can. If you want to stick with the band, you can. Your choice. We're standing on hip width distance, heels, toes are forward. Let's load that resistance up on the shoulders. Let's get our shoulders down away from our ears, proud chest, unlock the knees. We're going to go second set of 12, squeezing the glutes every time you stand. Eyes forward. Twelve total. Once you hit your 12, you can carefully come off your band. We're going to get prepped for our lat pull apart. So grabbing the band, whatever distance is appropriate for you. Arms are coming up overhead. Bring the arms up as straight as you can and then drop the shoulders and then unlock the knees. Protect that low back. Pulling out to the side, tap the top of your shoulders and release up. Be careful not to release too fast on the way up. Control both motions down and up. Focusing on those lats. Feel it down through your back. Twelve total. Same thing. Once you get your 12, release down. Shake out that shoulders. All righty, everything's starting to get a little warmer. Today feels a little better. Monday was sticky. At least outside it was. Today it doesn't feel quite as sticky. A little easier. All right, last set through of these good mornings, getting on our band, hip width distance, unlock the knees, Load those shoulders, get that upper back in the right position. Eyes forward, hinging back as far as you can, keeping that spine straight. Last set, 12. Squeeze the glutes on top. Total. Once you reach your 12, we're gonna go into our last set of lat pull apart. So come off that band, supersetting, so we're going right into it. Getting that distance, whatever feels good for you. Arms overhead, shoulders are down, knees are unlocked, rib cage down. You're not arching your back. Pulling that band out to the side, tap to the tops of your shoulders, and then right back up. Slow and controlled. And once you reach your 12, arms come down. Relax your shoulders, shake out the back. Alrighty, nice work. You can set your band off to the side. We are gonna move into a series of weights. You wanna make sure your dumbbells are close by. Our next exercise, we're gonna go into, we're gonna do a lunge with a balance variation tonight. So if you wanna try this out at first with no weight, be my guest. But we're gonna be doing a reverse lunge. That means we're stepping backwards. We're gonna take it directly into a knee drive. So we're gonna be stepping back with one leg. So we'll step back with our right leg. And then instead of just coming back feet together on the way back, we're actually gonna lift that knee up, okay, and add a balance. So I'll show you without weight, and then you can decide if you wanna add weight off the bat. So you're gonna step back, reverse lunge. This is normal. On the way up, though, instead of stopping, you're gonna come directly up to lifting your knee, ideally up to kind of a 90 degree. You're just gonna pause there for a second, and then you're gonna go right back, reverse lunge and lift. If you wanna hold a weight, I suggest just trying it with one weight. That way you have one free arm to balance. Use the side that you're not lunging with. So if you're doing it on the right side, if you're lunging on the right, hold the weight in your left. With your other hand, whatever helps you balance. I a lot of times will put my hand on my hip. But if it feels better to have your arm extended out here for balance, you can do that. If you're really struggling with balance, you can also be near a wall or something, or a chair or something that's in a kind of far reach, in case you feel like you're gonna teeter, okay? Wherever it needs to be. But if you're doing the weight, put it in the opposite side of the lunge, okay? So we're gonna do this for 10 each side on both our right and our left. So we're gonna start on our right side. So it's reverse lunge, step back, and then we lift the knee, pause for a second, balance, bringing the knee back, lunge, and then we drive it up, lift, pause, balance, lunge, and lift. Slow and controlled. Take your time. If you're wobbly, that's okay. 10 total. Once you get your 10, you're gonna flip around. However you did it on the first side is kind of what I want you to try on your second side. So I'm switching. I've got the weight in my right hand now. I'm gonna be stepping back with my left, and then driving my left knee up, pause, balance. Reverse lunge and lift. It's normal to find that you balance better on one side versus the other. $10 total. All right, shake up those legs for a second. Once you get both sides down, that was our trial round, just to get used to it. Hopefully our balance improves during our rounds 2 and 3. Next exercise, we're gonna do an alternating front raise and lateral raise. So you're gonna need both weights. We're gonna do 12 total. You'll end up doing 6 each side. You're just gonna alternate. You're gonna go front raise and then directly into a lateral raise. So the count goes 1 and 2, 3, so on and so forth. Keep a light bend in your elbow, shoulders down away from your ears. Knees are unlocked. Here we go. Front, and then goes immediately into the side. Each repetition counts. Keep that core still. Total. 6 each direction. Once you get those 12, shake out those arms, take a quick breather. First set down. Now, usually with most balanced stuff, your first set is like the worst because your body's trying to figure out what you're doing. Your second set gets a little bit better. So if you felt really unbalanced your first time around, hopefully a little better this second time. If you're doing totally fine the first time and you didn't try this with a weight, maybe try adding the weight on that one side for the second time through. All right, so if you can, you're starting on the right side, grab that weight on your left side. Remember, arm can either, the free hand, the right hand can either be out extended, or you can hold your hip, or wherever makes more sense for you to be forward, wherever helps you to balance, as long as it's not driving your chest down, you're keeping your chest up. Here we go, second set through for 10 each side, reverse lunge, go straight into a knee lift. Adding that quick balance. Ooh. And once you reach your 10, go ahead, take a moment, switch sides, regain that balance, composure on the second side, and then when you're ready, 10 on your left side. All right, once you get 10 on either side, go ahead, grab that second weight, or grab both weights if you're doing that without weight. And then go right into those front and side raises. Second set of 12. Total, 6 a direction. Once you find that 12, a little bit of a breather break here. Shake out those legs. I don't know if I did better my second set. I said that you would, but I don't know if my balance got better the second set or worse. Hopefully the third set is our best set with our balance. If you're really struggling and you're falling all over the place, just set yourself like right by a wall or something. Just try not to lean on it, but let it be there if you're really taking a long time because you keep falling over. Okay, sometimes even when we have good balance, we have good days and bad days. It's not always our best day for balance. Try to keep that weight kind of centered around the middle. So when you lunge back, try to keep your hips over kind of that front leg. And then it definitely, when you lift, one thing I find it to help me when I lift is to flex my foot. So pull my toes up to the ceiling versus if I just have kind of like a loose foot, it's a little harder to balance. The flex foot is like a little tighter. It's a little easier to hold in place. So when you lift that knee, try to flex your foot up. All right, last time through though, for us to try it out, we're gonna do 10 each side. If you haven't started, let's go for it. Starting with our right side. Ten on your right, switching, getting set up for 10 on your left. All right. Once you do reach your 10 and your 10, go ahead and grab that other weight. We're gonna go right into those front and side raises. Last time through, 12 total, 6 a direction. All righty. Same thing, once you reach those 12, mini break, breather, catch your breath, grab some water. All righty, guys, moving along. Okay, so with this next exercise, we're gonna do pulse squats, so a squat variation. This is optional if you want to add the weight or not. If you're going to add the weight, I suggest doing it goblet style, holding it up by your chest. In a pulse squat, you're going to drop all the way down to the deepest squat that you can do. You're going to come partially up. You're going to pulse up, maybe like a quarter of the way. You're going to pulse back down, and then you're going to come all the way back up. And that's one repetition, okay? So you're going to go all the way down. You're going to come partially up. You're going to go all the way back down. You come all the way up. So that's one squat total, okay? You want to try to control this so that it doesn't look like you're just bouncing. So it's easy to kind of do like this is a little bit easier. You're just kind of like bouncing like a basketball off the floor. So try to control it. So you get down to a point, pause for a second, up, pause, down, pause, and up. Don't just kind of bounce from the bottom. Like I said, if it's not challenging enough and you want to add the weight, hold the weight underneath your chin, right at your chest. We are going to do these for 10 total. So all of that one squat, we're doing 10 times through. So you can decide what feels right for you. We're going to go for our first set of 12. So you're going all the way down. I'm sorry, 10. Partially up, all the way down, all the way up. All the way down, partially up, all the way down, all the way up. Nice and slow, control. Legs should be on fire by the end of these. Put that booty back. And total. Ooh, my legs are on fire. Hopefully they are. If your legs are not on fire by the end of your 10, next time I want you to add the weight or go lower if you can. All right, pairing that, you will need your weights. Grab them. We'll do that with some bicep curls. We're going to alternate between hammer curls and regular curls. So in hammer curls, your thumbs are going to face forward. So you're going to do one hammer curl. You're going to come down, and then you're going to rotate the palms. You're going to do one regular curl, and you're going to come down. We're going to do 12 total, kind of the same as our front side raises. You'll get 6 each direction. Just kind of bouncing back and forth between hammer style and regular style. And when you're ready, we'll do hammer first for 1, rotate our palms, regular curl for 2. Hammer curl, and then regular curl. Make sure you're not swinging, you're not moving, using momentum. Well, total. Set those weights off to the side. Catch your breath. Shake up those legs. With your pulse squats, you can really focus in on the depth of your squat, especially if you're just doing them with your body weight. Try to go as low as you can go in your squat so that when you come back up, it shouldn't be like you're standing almost all the way up. You should be still pretty low. So it should feel like you're down in the depths of that squat for a little bit longer period of time than normal. That's why your legs kind of burn. Your legs and your glutes should burn by the end because you're kind of holding that squat position a lot longer than you normally do with the regular squat. All right, if your legs are recovered and you're ready, shake them out a little bit. Let's go for round 2. 10 of these pulse squats. We're going all the way down, low, up just a little, all the way down, all the way up. That equals 1. Go at your own pace, count yourself out. Lead with the glutes. Quads are burning. Woo, 10. 10 and shake out your legs. Shake out your legs as you walk to get your weights for your bicep curls. Shake it out. All right, grab those weights. Second set through. Alternate between your hammer and your regular curls, 12 total. Here we go. Lock those knees. No swaying with your back. 12 total. Once you hit 12, weights come down, shake it on out. All right, take your breather here before we do this one last time. For those pulse squats, if you start to feel them in your knees, think you sit back even more. When you start to feel it in your knees, sometimes, especially when we're in this squat position for a long period of time, it means that you've just started to kind of do a little bit of too far shifting forward onto your toes. You want to have some weight in your toes, but you want to have like a lot of weight back. So whenever I start to feel it a little bit in my knees, I just think like push my butt back a little bit more, and it usually takes the pressure off the kneecaps, and it should come from behind the kneecaps. It should travel just a couple inches up. So it's not like going completely to your butt, it's going to your quads, but I just don't want it in the kneecaps. I want it like a couple inches above the kneecaps to your quadriceps. So if you're feeling it pull here, that's fine. You're in the right spot. It's not on the actual joint, your kneecap itself. All right, so your legs are recovered. Here we go. Think about that as we go through. Last set of 12, sitting back, lifting up, sitting back, all the way up. Last pulse squat. Last opportunity. Feel that burn. All right, 10 total. Shake out those legs as you walk over to get your weights. for your last set of curls. All righty, 12 total. Unlock your knees. Keep that core engaged. One hammer curl, one regular curl, alternating every other. All right, 12 total. Once you hit that 12, put those weights down, grab your water. Take a breather here. All righty, guys. We're cruising. Okay. Going into our next superset, we're going to be doing kneeling calf raises tonight. We did this a couple of weeks ago. So I'm going to give you guys, I'll explain and give you guys a couple minutes because this one's for your calves, but you're also going to feel the burn. We're going to hold the squat while we do it. So those legs aren't quite done yet. So in a kneeling calf raise, it's kind of deceiving the name. You're actually not kneeling on your knees. You're squatting down, okay? So you're going to be in a more of a squat type position. You're going to sit back. You might be here. You might be here. You might be able to get really low. The lower that you go, the more pressure you're going to load on your calves, and it also depends on your flexibility as well. So you might be here, you might be, but I want you sitting back in some capacity. I don't want you completely upright, okay? You're sitting back, and then you're going to lift your heels off the ground, do your calf raise from here, okay? So you're going to lift, squeeze, and then you're going to lower the calves back down to the ground. You're going to lift, squeeze, and then you're going to lower the calves back down to the ground. The legs are also working down there too, right? Because they're kind of like holding that squat position. So they're going to get a little bit of both. If you want to add weight to this, if you want to challenge yourself, you can grab a weight and you can hold it kind of goblet style up in the chest as well if you want to add extra weight. Or you could grab two and hold it over your shoulders. Just like to add that on for any of you guys that need the challenge. If you don't need the challenge, then just do it with your own body weight. Okay, so we're going to find the squat position. We're going to hold the squat position the whole time while we do all 12 of our calf raises, okay? So find that squat position, sit back as low as you can, starting with the heels, always starting with the heels on the ground, and then popping up onto those toes, squeeze and lower. Popping up on the toes, squeeze and lower. Taking your time, pause, balance at the top. Kind of looking like a frog. Ooh, 12, and then stand all the way back up. Ha ha, shake out those legs, shake out those calves. Don't worry, we will stretch them at the end tonight. So 12 of those total. We're going to be pairing that. Tonight we're going to do tricep push-ups, okay? So just like any push-ups, you can do them however you want. You can do them on the floor, you can do them on your knees, you can do them to a bench. With a tricep push-up, instead of your arms coming out to the side like an angle here, your elbows are going to come right close to your body. So sometimes people refer to these as military push-ups too. Okay, so elbows come in nice and close. You're going to load a little bit more of your triceps along with your chest, and you're going to press out, okay? The setup is the same as any push-up. Hands start right underneath your shoulders. Keep that body nice, straight plank. Lower yourself down. Push yourself away. I'm going to use my bench. Doing things to the floor is now challenging. I have something in my way. So I'm going to do it a little bit inclined to my bench here. You guys can do it to a bench. You can do it to a chair. You can do it to the floor, however you like. Just make sure your body's nice and tight. Elbows stay nice and close. You can lower yourself all the way down. You can push yourself up and all the way away. Okay, we are doing these for a set of 12. So whenever you get in that position, go ahead and go for your first set. Breathe as you go. Elbows straight back. 12 total. Take your time getting that 12. Once you reach the 12, come back to standing, shake out the arms, relax them. Give them a little bit of a breather there. Tricep push-ups, if you don't normally do your push-ups, some people, every time they do push-ups, they do tricep push-ups. But if that's not your norm and you normally have your elbows flared out a little bit to the side, they are more challenging. You might find that normally if you can do push-ups to the ground, with tricep push-ups, you might have to drop to your knees, or you might have to come up to a bench height if you are normally on your knees or something like that. So they are a little bit harder. So you struggled with them that round. It's okay. I'd rather have you modify and be able to do them all the way, like bring your chest all the way down and come all the way back, then be kind of in a hard position and just kind of like pulsing and not getting down all the way. So always okay to modify to get the full range of motion. Okay, let's go through. We got our second set of these calf raises for 12. So we're going to be getting down to our squatting position. Sit those hips down. Get down as low as you can while keeping the heels on the ground. And then we come up onto the balls of the toe for the calf raise, and then we come back down. Pause and down, loading those calves. Breathe. Ah, 12 total once you reach 12. Come to standing. Shake out the legs. And once you got some sensation back in your legs, we're going to make our way over. So you can do our second set of our tricep push-ups. So however you are doing them, get yourself set up. Hands are right below your shoulders. Body's in a nice straight plank position. Elbows go straight back, lower all the way down. Push yourself all the way up and away. Second set of 12. 12 total, taking your time. Once you finish, shake out those arms. All righty, catch that breath. We got one more set to get through. If you want the challenge for your last set and you haven't tried these calf raises with a weight, now's the time to go for it. I'm going to try it out. If you're already dying without the weight, don't feel like you need to add it. But if you want the added challenge, grab a weight, hold it at the top of your chest, below your chin. All you're doing is adding a little resistance to this. And then when you're ready, get yourself down, low squat position, lifting up on those toes, back down on those heels. Last set of 12. 12 total. Come on up. Give those legs a breather. Shake them out just a second here. Don't rest too long because we got to get our last set of push-ups in. Find that correct body position. Hands underneath your chest. Nice tight plank position. Elbows go straight back behind us. Pressing up all the way. Chest all the way down. All the way up every time. 12 total. Take your time, finishing them out. Get those 12. Once you got your 12, you can grab some water, shake the arms out, shake the legs out if you like. Before we go into seated stretching tonight, I want to do a calf stretch too. So stay standing. If you have a wedge or something you can tilt your foot up on, awesome. If not, grab that dumbbell, just toss it on the ground. We'll use it for a calf stretch. So heel down, toe up, right foot first. Feeling that stretch in those calves. Kind of in the back of that leg too. The higher you can get your toe in the air, the more you're going to feel that stretch. Leg is straight. And then when you're ready, switch sides. Left side, heel down, toe up. Feel that stretch. Deep calf stretch. And then let's switch back, right foot. Let's bend the knee and lean in. So lean in a little further. We can feel this down low in our Achilles, low portion of our calf. And then let's switch sides. Same thing, left foot. Bend the knee and lean into that. Feeling it lower down your leg. And then when you're ready, coming off both sides, you can set that weight off to the side. And then we will make our way for seated stretches. So go ahead, grab a chair. Pull it up. All right. Sitting up nice and tall, let's extend our right leg out, heel down, toe up. Leaning forward, flat back. And then switching sides, right leg in, left leg out. Heel down, toe up. And then bringing that left leg in. Go to our hip opening stretch, take that right leg, bring it above the left. Right foot above the left knee. Let that right hip open out to the side. Feel that stretch all the way up to the side of your glute. Leaning into it if you need. And then hand to the outside of the knee, reaching behind your back, looking over your back shoulder. And back to center, untangling that leg. Let's switch sides. Left leg up above the right knee. Let that hip open first. And then hand outside the knee, reaching around the back of your chair, looking over the left shoulder now. And then back to center. Let's untwist that left leg. Relax those legs, sitting back up nice and tall. Let's bring our right arm across our body, hug it in nice and close. Feel that stretch along the shoulder. Do some wrist circles if you like. And then if you want a little bit more of a back stretch, you can twist, feeling that in the upper back. Couple breaths. And then switching sides. Left arm across the body. Feel that shoulder stretch first. Pulling that shoulder. Go ahead and do some wrist circles if you like here. Relax those fingers, the hand. And then if you want a little bit more of that upper back stretch, keep pulling around, twisting to the side. And then relax that arm. Let's take both arms now behind the back. Clasp those fingers. Drop the shoulders down away from your ear. And then if you can pull those hands away from the small of your back, bringing the shoulder blades together. Feeling that chest open up wide. Just tilt that right ear back down towards the right shoulder. And then left ear to left shoulder. And then finally bringing the chin to the chest, relaxing the back of our neck. And then release those hands, bring them forward, clasp those fingers together, round the back, push your hands forward. Move around here if you like to. And then 2 arms up overhead, reach nice and high. And then lift to the ceiling. Let's come to the right side. Big stretch along the right side of your, on the left side of your body. And back to center with the hands. Lifting up to the ceiling again. Leaning over to the left. Feeling the stretch on the right side of your body. And then back to center one more time. Reach up to the ceiling. Inhale. And exhale out and down. Roll those shoulders down and back. Awesome work, guys. Thanks again for hanging out for another week.